Good morning, you guys. When Bob's.
This shit's legit. The reality has changed. It's not the same fucking game anymore. Fucking Hex. Hex.
What the hex is you guys talking about?
In the crypto world, there was a man named Hart fighting the SEC, a battle of the smart with Hex and Pulsechain. But he made his mark, but the SEC came knocking with a mighty bark.
Because this is what the SEC does. The SEC, I think, is overmatched as a government agency. And you don't have to comment on that, but just nod your head. Utterly overmatched. So they go after groups, and then they can't really prove it in court. So then they're like, how about this? You give us a cut of your profit, and we'll all be done here.
The biggest winner, of course, was Hex. And we want to know, well, what the heck?
What the heck?
What the heck's happening?
What the heck?
Hex!
Welcome, everybody. How you doing, Papa B? Welcome,
I'm tired.
You're
I'm tired. I haven't slept in weeks. Oh, there's a Felix
tired.
here.
We should be tired. Like, we're in Germany. It's 10 at night right now, and you just you just fell out of bed, literally.
Thank you. No, I fell out of couch where I was sitting, watching, and reading and listening to all the stuff going on in the community. It's nuts.
Oh, it's crazy. There's hacks going on left, right, and center all of the time. What's the message, Papa B? Hardware wallets with a
wallet. Don't interact with the fucking front ends, or you don't know.
There are no free airdrops.
No voice left. B9.xyz.
Yeah.
We try to post it all there so I can have some voice left. Get your fucking act together, guys. Come on.
Damn. Today we are blessed with the presence of Felix, who is part of the HEXscout team, and we wanted to showcase the HEXscout website today on the show and go through everything that there is to talk about and show. Let me before we do that, let me say hi to the chat, to our beloved chat. We got 30 people out the gate, so people are excited about this episode. We're still a very small time channel here. Nobody watches the show, but we got another 20-30 subscribers on the YouTube between last week and this week, so that's very nice. We're going steady up and to the right. So please do us the favor, follow, click the like, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate that. We got Hexamatas, who is the first with the yippee-ki-yay motherfuckers. Nice.
Wow. Nice.
Miss Avalon is here, number 3, and Maddie Allen in 2nd position. Wow.
Hello,
Maddie's up here early. We got Alan Fizame in the house, Metallic Elmo. There's a lazy Hexican. I'm awake. It's another Hawaiian Hexican.
Oh, what?
Gary Ryan. What's the Hex Legends? Exactly. What's the Hex? That's also a good name for the show. Hex Glenn is here.
Did you just assume that lazy Hexican is Hawaiian?
Yeah.
Why would you just because what?
Because he just got up.
My brothers and sisters are lazy? These are hardworking people over here.
No. Because of I'm awake.
Oh, okay. All right.
Anyway, I only watched this from jail. There you go, Alan.
Nice.
So thank you everybody for joining in. Felix, what before we go into this, what I remember about you, because we were chatting in like the early days of Hex, in the crypto Spabo, the German community Telegram channels. This was around maybe April or May. Hex had just started. I think we just had the Godwell pump was around that time where everybody's going crazy. And then we were chatting in there and we were trying to figure out everybody's age brackets. And then I was like, okay, fuck it. I'm in my late 40s, which I was at the time. And, this general manager of this mid-sized company, and what are you guys doing? And you were all like, oh, we're just, in our early 20s, just get out of school and started university.
Damn it.
And I was like, oh, wow. Because for me, Hex was always, I was looking at that as a pass a get out clause to, make it out the rat race a little bit earlier. So if I could retire in my mid 50s, that will be awesome.
And these little punks didn't even
No,
get
and
into
then-
the rat race. They're like
But
little,
then
going around the thing.
But then I said to you guys, but wow, to be involved with something as huge and as important as Hex is in your early 20s, I mean, you have your whole life ahead of you and you can, live anywhere you want. You can travel, you can study anything, you can pursue any career that you want. And one of you guys then responded, and I think it was you, was like, oh, no. We don't ever plan or intend to work a single day in our lives. and I was like, wow. So now 4 years into Hex, how has this been working out for you?
Yeah, how's it played out?
Well, first of all, let me thank you for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here.
You're welcome.
And yes, you remember correctly, I'm still in my early 20s. And my main goal after school was to never even start a rat race and just get out of it as
With
soon as
you.
possible. Yes, it was me. And so far, I mean, it's been amazing. We made 10,000x. We got an amazing community. We got an amazing ecosystem. There's tons of inspiring people around us. And it's an amazing journey so far.
Amazing journey. And the
Hear that,
community
DJ
has
Cryptomatic?
grown.
That
Yeah.
There's two amazing, inspiring people around him, he says. What a
Come on,
compliment.
man.
Oh, no, really, it's too much.
No, but Felix, thank you for making time for our seniors. Yeah. So
I
we're
got a
right
que-
in the age.
It's my pleasure.
I got a question. About this whole train of thought before we begin. Felix, how
Yes.
can you hate the rat race having only assumed theoretically what it is to go to a workaday type of lifestyle, 8 or 9 hours, in front of a desk, entering in data and making phone calls and schmoozing at the water cooler? You've never done it. What's so
Well-
bad about it as far as you're concerned?
I got parents, right? So I just seen their lives and I was like, no, that's not going to be my way. I will not do that. This will not work out for me personally. So yeah, the decision was clear when I was like 14 or something. And ever since I was just looking for ways to get out of it and never even get started. So of course I did school and stuff, but after that I was sure that I would never want to have a boss and go to a regular job and do that stuff. I wanted to be independent and free. And yeah, here we are.
Well,
That's
so,
awesome.
So more onto that. I'm sorry, I'm so curious, DJ. 'Cause
Yeah,
the
it's very
age
inspiring,
group-
though.
The age difference is something really we could spend an hour just kind of examining this. But Felix, one last question as far as that's concerned. So, what does freedom mean to you, though? If you've only ever had freedom and never had responsibility, what is it that you perceive freedom to be? If I would have, ended everything and become a gazillionaire at the age of, let's say, 23, there would have been there's a lot of maturity that happened, right? I was a young buck filled with piss and vinegar at those age. I was dumb as fuck, and I was making all sorts of mistakes. But if I would have had money, that probably would have led me to becoming some dipshit, idle, rich fucker that just sits around and gets fat. So what do you think you're going to do with your freedom? What does it mean to you?
Well, freedom for me means that there's no one who tells me what I have to do and what I don't have to do. I can do whatever I want, and I can decide individually and every day how the day will look like, what the day will look like. Of course, I do work. That's what we do with HEXscout and stuff. But I do it without a boss. It's on my terms. And yeah, that was pretty important to me, to not get in some construct that I don't want to be in. And yeah, that's pretty much freedom for me. Just my decisions and my personal will guiding me through the day.
And last but not least, if that's the case, if you fear having a boss over you, do you ever feel that you would be in a position with like-minded people to actually get anything done or made? And if so, how could you make something extraordinary like HEXscout without there being some kind of, let's say, it's not a commune where everybody just speaks out of turn and doesn't listen and doesn't delegate and find everybody's best things and construct something in an orderly fashion. How do you manage to do things then if there's nobody that puts their hand up and says, at least for this task, I'm going to be boss?
Well, for HEXscout, we all know what we can and can't do, and we know our strengths. And with that in mind, we just can accept other people doing stuff better than we do. And yeah, it's just even. Like, everyone has their specialties, and everyone can do something better than the other one. So we just split the work, and everyone focuses on their strength. And yeah, that's pretty much how this works out.
It all just magically happens, and it works out.
Yeah.
Well, maybe this is, DJ, this could be testament to that type of philosophy actually working out. It's called communism, and it works. I guess.
I mean, I can relate. I had some terrible bosses, as I'm sure you had too, during my 30 years of working in the rat race. So, but actually what I learned from them is once later that I got the responsibility over staff and over other people, I learned from them how not to do it. So I wouldn't want to miss it, but I can definitely see, giving that financial freedom at such a young age. Of course, I'm super jealous, and
oh yeah,
if that's just unimaginable what can be accomplished in one's life when you're involved with something like that. So I'm very, very, very proud of you guys. Also that you had the guts to stick with it and to trust it and have that conviction. Maybe a last one before we go to HEXscout. Like, what was the most important thing that built this conviction about Hex, that this is actually the real thing? What triggered that with you? Was it Richard Hart? Was it something in the code that you discovered?
It was Richard Hart and the code. So we just listened to Richard, and we actually understood him and could see through all the noise. Like all the Gucci and Versace stuff and all the stuff going on. We just learned about him, and we really, really listened to him and fully got what he said. And that made us believe in his vision. And yeah, that's the reason we are still here today and building for Hex.
That's right. Day one Hexicans. So there we go. Your brother is here. The other part of HEXscout will soon be 50 years old and adds a few more strengths to the team. So the teamwork makes the dream work, I guess.
Yeah, it's about partnership, not having a boss or something. Just even partners with strengths and weaknesses.
So how big is the HEXscout team? Like, how many people do you have working, and what is your role? Are you a developer, or are you the ones with the layout ideas, or how did you contribute?
Well, Wolfgang and I'm sure you know him from the German community, HEXscout. We have the ideas, and we design the product and its purpose and stuff. And then, of course, we got developers actually turning it into a competitive website. And but we ourselves are not developers. We can't read a single line of code. We just are the guys with the vision and the idea, and have a very competent developer team led by Dev Young. I'm not sure if you know him.
Yes, with the HSI Watch.
Yes,
website.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he partnered up with us like a year ago, and ever since it's just amazing. Like, we got so much stuff done, and he's an amazing dev, an amazing guy in general, and
Okay.
we are super happy to have him in our team.
What was the main reason why you thought something like HEXscout is needed for the community?
What we noticed was that the community needs guidance. So Hex is a super complex product itself. And around Hex, we got an ecosystem which is even more complex. Like we got the perpetuals like Maxi and stuff. We got Hedron. We got literally anything you could wish for. Since yesterday, we even got the Flex protocol and stuff. So it's super complicated. And as a guy who just joins crypto, you don't know what to do or where to head to. So we decided to build HEXscout to actually deliver guidance and show the new people the way in. And that's its main purpose. Like we are, of course, also a portfolio tracker and management tool. But the main purpose of HEXscout is that we wanted to deliver a competitive onboarding tool that makes it easy for onboardies to actually join us.
Perfect. Can we have a look at it? Can you share your screen and then we maybe just get into it?
You should be able to see HEXscout now.
Yes, here we are. Okay, so this is the main starting page. Once you open it up, everybody new that's watching, the link is down in the description, so you can try out everything you're seeing here today by yourself.
You've got a lot of fans of HEXscout here in the chat.
Yeah,
myself included, by the way. So
appreciate you guys.
Wild stream already got over 60 people watching, so thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in.
Yeah.
Usually, you would get about 200-300 and hundreds more on the X and replay, so they're starting to trickle in slowly.
Perfect.
Smash the likes. So Felix, over to you. So where does one start with all this?
So what you see here is just hexscout.com. This is the landing page containing all necessary stats you might be interested in, like, of course, prices and some more metrics. We also got an overview of the ecosystem right here, like all Richard Hart assets, Pulse, Hex, PulseX, and Inc. Yes, pretty much just a data landing page where you can get all the information that's necessary. With some hidden details. For example, if you are right here at Staker class and click on T-share rate, you get T-share stats as well. So this page contains everything you need to know about Hex for the starters and for advanced people. Yeah, everything available right there. And in the top right corner here, we straight lead to the core of HEXscout, which is the onboarding tour. And the onboarding tour is literally amazing because it teaches you from the beginning till a staked Hex letter everything that you need to know within maximum an hour. So first of all, we explain to you what Hex actually is and what it's all about. Secondly, we teach you what staking is, which is the most important feature of Hex. Like when you don't understand T-shirts, you won't gonna make it, right?
Yes, that's what it's an old tweet from Richard that resurfaced today all of a sudden from 2002, no 2022, I think.
Yes.
If you don't understand T-shirts, you're not going to make it. That's right. And I assume this website is responsive, so it works on mobile, on tablets.
We also have mobile apps, so you can download it in the Google Play Store and in the Apple App Store.
Right.
It's all responsive.
Okay.
Totally right. So this page right here explains T-shirts to you and what staking is. And the best part about it is that it allows you to generate your personal staking letter within just 1 minute. All you need to do is answer some easy questions, like if you want to stake for you or someone else. Set your goal, like long-term growth perspective, which is, of course, the best in Hex. Select the amount you wish to invest. Set your age, because for a 90-year-old, it might not make sense to actually stake Hex for 15 years. That's why we ask for your age. And then there you go already. So you got now a staking letter that we propose to you, which you can modify, of course. You can add stakes, you can remove stakes. And down here, we explain to you why we think that this is the right strategy for you individually. And yes, That's pretty much the most important feature of the onboarding tour.
Right.
When you got that, you of course wish to know how to actually get your hands on some hex. Let's go with phex here. You can choose between ehex and phex in this overview. So we explain which hex is not better, but we give you the facts that you can make a educated decision based on. Yes, let's go with phex for this example.
I know I had like hour-long debates with Wolfgang in the German chats about EHEX and PHEX, but you guys still stick to supporting both versions of Hex with the Hex.
Yes, of course, because we still got hexagons around us that like eHex, and we don't want to exclude anyone from HEXscout. So the choice is yours, right? We can tell you what we like better. And of course, we go with phex because it's a hex that Richard endorses and the hex that Pulsechain was built for. But if you wish to buy EX for some reason, you are free to. We will not restrict you in any way.
Okay.
I have a question. I know you're only on the third tab, but just a thought. Any idea before you tell people to stake for X amount of years that you advise them to use a hardware wallet, or at least review your best guess at a really good security posture? Because I'm cleaning up a big mess right now. Over 3.1 million freaking dollars have been robbed from our community just this year that I know of. So I want to know, are you addressing this anywhere in the site?
Yes, we do actually, but we will address it more prominently in the future. We will definitely incorporate it in the onboarding tour. This tour is meant to be beginner friendly, so we advise people to get a hardware wallet elsewhere because it's just for.
Now there's a debate. That's what I didn't want to hear. I don't want to hear, we're just introducing people to it. Yeah, you stepped in it right there, Felix. I'm telling you, there's the only time to get somebody into it is when they're malleable and they're new to this whole thing. The first step that I try to preach to people is the security first. Even if you got $50, you're not getting in this game unless you're investing into something for $50. You're expecting it to go 10,000x. You don't buy it for $50 thinking that it's going to go to $100. You're really thinking that it's going to go to the moon. So you got to protect it as best you can from the onset. What do you think?
The thing is that a hardware wallet doesn't actually save you from the most common scams. Most of the time, with people clicking wrong links, connecting their wallets to wrong websites, and interacting with the wrong contracts. Only in a vast minority of the times, it's actually the wallet being hacked on your phone or on your laptop or whatever.
Okay, all right. Settle down, sunshine. I call bullshit on that. That's the old line of people that wanted to onboard at all costs and not retain people in the community at all costs. So I'll tell you this, that isn't true. The truth of the matter is that there's a vast majority of people with key mismanagement and giving bad allowances, no matter what you use. You're right, there are different pitfalls, but by all means, when people use soft wallets, browser-based extension wallets, they are more prevalent. They're the single most of what I see in the field after cleaning up this mess. People simply use MetaMask or Rabby in the raw, and there is something called the Mars stealer that harvests the seed store file and waits for them to key in their password, which takes their seeds. That's the number one. That's the number one above all else. So don't tell me that it's because people are giving bad privileges to people. That is true. That's probably about 25%, but 75%, or I'd say 70% is the Mars stealer nowadays. And people that hear from elders in the community like yourself, hearing that it's okay to use a soft wallet, and then the other remainder percentage would be key mismanagement, like they put in a passphrase and they don't remember where they backed it up. So that's the breakdown from what I see in the field from firsthand experience. That's why I'm begging you, change your worldview, please. Let's retain people from the onset so that they can go through this long journey with you and with us as a community for 15.2 years. and use Hex Scout to do it. I think this would be a great sounding board.
But he already
to
said
the
they will
message.
rework it, and
Yeah, they will. But
And it's
he
mentioned
mentioned
on the
he
site.
doubled. But DJ, in all fairness, he talked about what he thought, and I want to see if we can get on the same page.
Well, that's actually great input that you're delivering right there. It's something like the stats with 70% and stuff we didn't have on our screen like that. I
I'm
actually
offering
thought
that to you. That insight is yours for free. Yes.
Yes. So thank you for that. We will definitely look into it as soon as possible and get people to hardware wallets.
Thanks. Please continue. Don't allow me to interrupt and besmirch Hex
I
Scout.
will now show you where we actually will guide people to hardware wallets then.
Yeah, please. But Felix, it's only because I'm such a big fan of your work, right? That I want to say that's the one thing that I think is missing, and I'm just
it's amazing feedback. Thank you for that. It's amazing. Thanks for actually talking up and letting us know. I appreciate it. Look, right there, you are asked if you already have a wallet or if you need one. And that will be the place where we will recommend hardware wallets in the future. Is it fair?
But it needs detail, and it needs detail, right? Because it says
will get detail
MetaMask.
right now when you click no. It then advises you at the moment to install MetaMask. But of course, we will replace this right here with advice to buy a hardware wallet and get started with it.
And use it, and all you have to do is use it in conjunction with MetaMask as your front end. So
correct.
It's a slight modification with what you've got here. That's all.
Yes, absolutely. It's not the world. We will definitely incorporate it. Cool. So just for you to see right here, there will be the hardware wallet introduction then in the future, where we explain everything step by step. And that is how this whole third step is actually structured. So we explain each step necessary for you to get in. Of course, we start with the wallet. Then we get you on a centralized exchange because it's still the way to get into Hex and get into crypto in general. And we just go through every step necessary until you get Hex in your wallet. And in the last step, which is amazingly easy as well, we will find the staking ladder summary again with your individual stakes. Like, let me show it to you. If I wish to add a stake here, it's super, super easy for how long I want. Let's go with this one. Now we added a stake of 6 million Hex for 15 years. And yes, if we want to actually put that strategy to action, all we need to do is click next step. And now we got 3 different ways of actually staking our Hex. We could either use a native stake, we could use Hedron, or we could use pooled stakes like Maxi or Lucky and stuff. Right down here, we explain the advantages and disadvantages of each method, so you can actually make an educated decision which way is the best for you. Let's go with all of them for now. In the last step, we ask you to just click the stake button. Of course, we would need the necessary Hex in the wallet right now, which we don't have. And for the pooled stakes, we ask you to buy it on the market.
So you can start your stakes from this front end?
Yes, you can.
And that then interacts with the go.hex.com and sets, or with
well,
the smart
it interacts
contract.
with the smart contract directly.
Smart contract,
so,
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a replacement for go.hex.com.
Wow. Okay, and that works for both Pulsechain and Ethereum.
Yes, it does. I can show you that in detail in a moment. Let's just wrap the starter tour up.
Yep.
That's pretty much it. After you stake your Hex, you're all set up. Like, you went from what is Hex actually to staked Hex within half an hour or an hour. And it couldn't be any easier. Yes, so that's the core of HEXscout. It's the most important part, the onboarding tour. Go ahead and share this link, guys. hexscout.com/start will guide everyone right to the onboarding part of this website.
Are you going? I mean, the trend now is, after Richard, of course, decentralized the whole front end thing, right? Are you going to decentralize this site, or is it always going to be, your ownership? And then if there's any kind of lightning rod that comes from any let's say, regulating organization in your country or others, would that make you a target, or are you even worried about that?
At the moment, we are not worried about that because in our country, it's no such development as it is in the US at the moment. It is important for HEXscout.com to actually be the official domain in order for people to not get scammed. If we published the code and allowed everyone to host it, there would be tons of scams, which we just cannot allow. So for now, it's HEXscout.com, and we plan for the future to always remain at HEXscout.com. One official domain for everyone to start it, because these IPFS links and stuff always allow for scammers to just copy paste your website and put their malicious code in there and scam people.
Right. Well, also, I mean, even if it's going to be this one, you're going to find, I guess, counterfeit sites with little difference in the URL. It can happen, but you're right. That is an argument against it. I was just worried about, like, with the whole trend of regulation and scares from the SEC, how a German point of view is, and that is, who cares? So what?
Pretty much. Well, it's more European.
We're not based in the US, and in Europe in general, it's not as anti-crypto as in the US.
Right.
So at the moment, we don't have any issues with just hosting your website. And after all, it's nothing but the front end. It's not a smart contract. We do not hold your keys or anything similar. We are literally a front end for some contracts, and that's all. So there's nothing wrong with that.
Okay. I really like the look and feel of everything. It's very intuitive. What was your, like, were there any other websites in the community that served as inspiration for you, or did you go elsewhere for the idea of the site?
We profited greatly from Wolfgang's 30 years experience in designing websites and creating an amazing user experience. So there wasn't really anything we had a look at and just copy paste it, but we developed everything on our own. And yes, that's how this went.
Even more amazing. So well done.
One thing, since you're starting stakes through this front end, and presumably you can keep track of your stakes, or you direct people.
That I will show you in a minute.
So the Web3 links are there, or the Web3 hooks are there. So again, if you're just going to describe, I'm sorry to go back to this site. Yep. Hey, how you doing, Elmire?
Hey, Elmire.
If you're going to be going to this topic again, I'm sorry, because I have to be thorough. But if you're going to just simply describe hardware wallets, Trezor or Ledger on that site, on that one page, you're going to have to build the hooks in for the Web3 portion so that it actually opens up Trezor Suite or Ledger Live to actually be able to, for people to interact. And there's got to be some actual dev work done there. So yep, you've got some of them. Yes.
What the
you got Rabby,
heck?
so that's good. Yeah, good.
We got literally all of them.
Beautiful. So then, so you just got to direct people to doing this. And once they have that installed, then they know what to do. If you need any documentation, obviously I can direct you to it, to just copy paste and add it to your site.
Thank you. Highly appreciate it. I will get back to you.
That means he's not going to get back to me.
He's German. We do as we say.
Okay, got it. Ta-da!
Right, let's continue on. Watching the stakes. How would one use the site after one is onboarded?
You got this little portfolio button on the left side in the menu. You just click it, and right here you could add any address that holds Hex or literally anything on Pulsechain. We are currently working on an indexer that automatically scans for any tokens you hold and displays them in your portfolio. For demo purposes, I will just go with the firewall here and show you guys how this is actually working. You see right here. On the top left, you got his total net worth, which he holds in crypto. You got an overview over his Hex. If you click this little arrow right here, you get details. So you can see that he literally doesn't hold any liquid PHEX, but has 250 million PHEX staked. And on Ethereum, it's even more extreme. He holds 3.2 EHEX liquid. as a red version on Pulsechain and got 490 million EHEX staked. If we scroll down here, we can see each individual stake. We can also see his staking history. So what has this guy done in the past and what will he likely do in the future? And yes, right here, if you actually own this wallet, you could enter stakes right now. We also demonstrate what would happen if he emergency end stake right now and give you some stats on the stakes, like the bonuses and the performance of the stake.
Right.
All information necessary. We also got the leaks. So he's a shark with 44,000 T-shirts, which is just incredible. And yes, you can see. You can also see how much he earns daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly at current prices, which is just insane. Yeah. So this gives you a complete overview over everything that you hold. You can trade it, you can do whatever you want, manage your stakes. You are free to do anything with your wallet. We allow for every action that might be necessary regarding Hex and other tokens. So yes, that's a portfolio. And yeah.
And you use the same fish leaks as they were once in the Staker app, or did you create your own?
We use pretty much the same.
Pretty much the same. Okay.
Yeah. This page, the loading time will be improved.
Yeah.
It just takes forever to load at the moment. There we go. So we can see that we got 17 whales in the community, 86 sharks, and so on. If you actually got a portfolio, you can see your rank in the leagues, your combined rank of all your wallets as well. And yes, that's pretty much everything.
Now, are the leagues? I'm sorry. Are the leagues just like they were back in the day, only having to do with T-shares, right? It's not to do with Liquid Hex, right?
No, it's just T-shares. Hex is all about T-shares, and so are the leagues.
Yep.
Yeah. That's pretty much the most important parts of HEXscout. We also do offer one-on-one support if you are new and feel insecure with any topic. You can just go ahead and select whatever you feel insecure with and book your support appointment right here. So we actually aim to hook anyone you could possibly hook and help wherever we can. And even if the onboarding tour isn't detailed enough for you, you can always reach out and yes.
That's actually something I wanted to ask. If you book the one-on-one support, who is then calling? Is that you or is that the call center in Bangladesh?
No. It's me at the moment.
Hello, what BlackBerry?
No, it will never be a call center in Bangladesh.
Okay.
When the demand increases and I can't handle it alone anymore, we will just look out for hexicans with a history and hexicans who will undergo a learning session by us. And yes, so you will always be greatly advised there, and no calling center in Bangladesh.
Sure. No, that was just a joke. But are you? What is your experience so far with these calls? Like, is it all the way positive feedback, or did you have some crazy stuff already happening, or people
Positive
you onboarded and then the price dumped and then they called again?
Nope.
Or a week later said, "What have we done?" Or
never.
Working?
It was positive only so far. People were super happy, and yes, I also I always give them my Telegram handle and tell them that they can reach me anytime. And if any questions occur, they can just text me and I will get back to them as fast as possible. So far, everyone was super, super happy. And yes, so are we.
Perfect. No, and I think it's fantastic that this has come out. How long was the development time for?
2 years, actually.
Project?
We pretty much started developing this whole thing.
2 more years.
In the bull market.
Wow. Okay.
It's worth the wait. Worth the wait.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you.
And also, I think from of course we've grown up using the Staker app, which is no longer around. But I don't actually, besides the fish leaks, see too many things that are similar. I think it's a totally different totally different situation, right? Was that a bit of an inspiration, or also things like what not to do or what to do different than
Actually,
the Staker
yes.
app? Yes.
HEXscout always aimed to improve Staker app. We never wanted to be an opponent or anything. We wanted to go together. Sadly, they discontinued the app like a few months ago. Luckily we got HEXscout now.
That's right.
Well, you've got it in the name, so you can't really reject the community that made you popular.
Of course not. We would never.
Good.
That's very good. And now it would be time for TA with Toby, but there is no Toby.
Then it's TA with Elmire in a great segment that we gladly call TA with Elmire.
Elmire, since we have Felix on, do you have any questions for him? Anything about Hex Scout that you always wanted to know, or you're not sure of?
No, I use it from time to time to check on my stakes. Right. I don't know if he mentioned or not, but can you check everything related to Edron 2 and all of those other projects in there? I usually use it mainly for X, but I'm not sure if now you can do other things regarding Edron and stuff.
Well, our focus so far has been adding Hex and improving the app. Like we are still in beta, so we got tons of bugs to eliminate, and we slowly integrate more and more features. So right now, Hedron you can do HSI stakes, you can start and end them, but we do not support ICOSA staking or anything. Like the whole Hedron ecosystem is not really supported yet. But we will add it in the future. It's on our to-do list, but so far it's been eliminating bugs, bringing the apps out, and so on. Like getting the basics done before we actually add new features and add more complexity to it.
Yeah, that's how you should probably handle that. I was just asking because as a see-through platform, would be nice just to be able to see everything in there.
Absolutely.
Instead of going to multiple places. And I like what I see there, like a lot, being able to see all the Ethereum and Pulsechain assets all in one place, an overview of all the stakes, so you can really see what's going on and never forget to end your stake on time, which is something that no one should forget about. And yeah, so far this experience has been great.
Thank you.
Also, a lot of positive feedback in the chat here. Iceman says Hex Scout is fantastic. We get Susie Q, shout out. Hex Monkey says the best onboarding site ever. Hex Glenn says keep it as secure as possible.
Yes, security, man, above all.
Security. Lazy Hexagon love the Hex Scout, so the people love it. I also have not read or seen anything negative at all. So
yeah, feedback has been amazingly positive since the beginning, and we were overwhelmed when we just started. And yeah, it's been absolutely amazing so far. It's been a great time, and it's a pleasure to actually serve the community with HEXscout and contribute in a way.
I have a birthday party that I'm going to attend this weekend, and I have some friends of mine that are dabbling now in crypto. So the first thing I'll point them towards now is HEXscout to see if they stop playing around with meme coins on the exchanges and actually go on chain and take on this opportunity you have. Yeah,
that's the link for every beginner.
Yeah, I'll be sure to point them towards that, because what you do with the step-by-step guide, it's fantastic. And I'm sure that you're going to improve it to further enhance the ecosystem and the experience. So that's great. It's a great tool.
We are patiently waiting for 0x Coast to actually get back on their feet, so we can ease up the whole onboarding process by
that's great.
And yes, patiently waiting.
And as a developer, I know how much work one needs to put up to build such a complex thing and make everything work seamlessly. So hats off to you guys.
Thank you.
Felix, what are your thoughts on and off ramps? Because I've seen the various options that you have within HEXscout. The wire transfer, I think you're recommending Kraken as a centralized exchange, which I really appreciate because I'm a big Kraken fan myself. But then if people want to buy directly with credit cards, what is the service that is being pushed there?
The only option available right now is Change Now. We are trying to solve that issue. So I've been reaching out to tons of credit card providers and stuff, and we'll do my best to get Hex listed somewhere. Yeah, Change Now is super low limits, which is a huge issue because you can like put in $400 at once and that's it. And most of the times their exchanges actually fail. So we need better options, and this is a call to the whole community. Get out there and talk to people, be professional, and try to get us listed. It's just a matter of reaching out and doing something instead of just sitting around and waiting for someone else to do it.
Right.
You know, I have a theory about the whole listing campaign. And I just want to set everybody, kind of recalibrate our community's expectations, if I may, for a moment. Richard's got this whole SEC thing going on, and a lot of exchanges have used that as an excuse to kind of, mothball the concept of doing any Richard Hart type of products, right? Well, I think that when we see resolution from the SEC case, good or bad, we're going to come back. We're going to, come back to those discussions, and I just think that let's prepare for, let's say, 2 of the products to be cleared out of the gate, and another one will take a couple of years or a whole cycle to resolve itself. But as that resolution is hanging out there, be prepared to concentrate on the ones that have been taken out of the whole mix of the SEC case. For example, if Pulse and PulseX are simply deemed non-securities and are out of the whole discussion, it's not part of the complaint, and the judge won't hear it, and we're free to go and market them now. Just be prepared for the people that you went to on these exchanges or on-ramp systems to then say, well, yes, but you still got this little footnote over here of Hex that's still being examined and debated about. So get yourself ready for that thing to happen. I don't think it's going to be free and easy that all of them will be wiped away in October or anything like that. You're going to have to double down when people come back to you and said, yeah, I did promise you if there was a resolution, but not all of your tokens were resolved. And that's bullshit. And you got to be ready to debate that with the people in a friendly and professional manner, of course.
So I myself got like a little newsletter with contacts of exchanges that I update regularly on the latest movements right around the Richard Hart case. And so we are in touch, and they are literally it's not that they don't like Hex or Pulse or Richard Hart or anything. They are just scared of the SEC and don't want to be a victim themselves. So they are just waiting, which is, from their perspective, of course, the wisest move in this whole thing. And just keep them updated regularly, stay in touch, and follow up whenever we get green light from the court.
I think that was one of the main reasons why the OKX delisting of Pulsechain happened.
Was the reason, yes.
Was with the SEC when that whole drama started about. So what would you say to people in the community that are saying, oh no, we don't want to be listed on these centralized exchanges, we don't need to be listed there, we are DeFi? And
well, actually, some of them have a great offering, which is that they are willing to integrate PulseX directly and execute their trades directly on chain. So you don't need to provide liquidity to them at all. They will just integrate, for example, Pythias or PulseX directly and execute swaps right there and send it directly to the user's wallet, which is by far the best way you could possibly do it. And it still allows for a gate to the fiat world, which is essential because we need to get money in, and bridging is expensive. Bridging is not feasible for the guy with like $1,000 to invest.
Right.
And yeah, we need to ease that up not at any cost, but credit card providers are pretty amazing in general because they don't hold your assets. They just take your fiat money and send crypto directly to your wallet, which takes like 30 minutes in total. But it's not like some centralized exchange where you let your coins sit and wait for whatever. It's actually self-custody and still a way to access fiat.
Yeah. And by the way, Brizology in the chat, friend of the show, friend of all of us. But he tends to
Welcome to the biz with Briz.
He hears one thing and it sets him off, and he's going down the path. He's spamming the chat now with 4 posts. Let's take them apart and let's calm Briz down. Briz,
First of all, what the heck?
What the heck? And then that's good. Richard Hart did nothing wrong. Yeah, all of us believe that 100%. I'm an anti-sex listing guy. Yes, Briz. Yes, but we're addressing the whole concept of the world believing the second of your comments and then free to make their own decisions. And you can't debate that if it were listed on even one sex, the bridging thing may not be such a stumbling block. It may provide liquidity pools on either side. It may have less friction. It may be good for onboarding. It may be good for plebs that just see it in the bull run and pump your bags. Maybe these things can happen. And then finally he says, I mean, I don't mind. Sorry, if they lost list, of course, Briz is his blood is up.
Oh, it's list. I was thinking about what they losing.
No, I don't mean if they list Hex, but they should buy the coins themselves, not be given the coins by the community or the founder. And I agree with that too. If they make if they want to do the listing, let them buy it from the open market because they were not early to do so. And no, we should not gift them just for the listing. It's not worth that for us or for Richard.
Yes, but
clear?
The best version is to actually make them trade on PulseX. You increase the buy and burn effect, and the liquidity remains decentralized. It's the perfect match.
I can see that too. Yeah,
and it makes it a lot simpler to just get in, because nowadays, when I want to DCA, I have to send funds to Coinbase, swap there, send to Ethereum, then bridge, then swap again. So all these extra steps that I'm paying fees for, which would not be necessary if we had a straight gateway from fiat to coin. Right?
Yeah. I mean, the OKX listing was nice around the launch time. I'm not going to front. This was very cool to have.
Yeah, but I never used it because I didn't use OKX. But from my understand, the LPs was not the liquidity there was not that big. So I heard it was easy to have slippage there. At least it was what I was told. I didn't confirm that or myself.
Very fast, very easy, very fast. Yeah.
You actually didn't use it yourself. It was a service that other providers used. Like many of the credit card providers, and for example, Let's Exchange, who were around at the beginning, used OKX in the background. And as soon as they turned down support for PLS, they could just not list Hex Pulse anymore. So that's the reason we got these low limits on Change Now today. They use their own liquidity right now, which is super low and which doesn't allow for huge amounts to be invested. So OKX was more of a provider for other providers that enabled us to actually get into this whole thing. And it was super amazing. And yeah, it's super sad that it's gone.
Yeah, it was right around the SEC thing.
Yeah, it was a direct consequence of the SEC thing.
Absolutely, absolutely.
They even said it in public.
Yeah, but it will come. They will come around once everything is past us. So as will others. And in the meantime, we just have to explain how to do it with the limitations we have right now.
Well, it's always an idea as well to ask some providers and stuff to list, for example, a decentralized stablecoin of Pulsechain. We got just yesterday, we got a Hex stablecoin with the Flex protocol. We got the Earn protocol. We got liquid loans. We got enough stables to get listed on such exchanges, which allow to get into this whole thing and which are not something the SEC looks into at the moment.
The problem with those stablecoins, I believe, it's they don't know how they work, right? And I'm not sure a third party will want to have the liability of listing a stable coin they don't control, and they cannot guarantee that will be stable, right?
Well,
So,
actually, they don't control any of the stablecoins they've listed. And
yeah, but
for example, let's go with change now for this. Do they control USDC or DAI or whatever? No, they don't. But
at least Tether has some audits going on.
But it's different. It's different because they already have many years on them. They are supported everywhere. And for instance, Coinbase itself, basically, not Coinbase the entity, but Circle, is the one that controls USDC. So that's why they facilitate swappings for no fee at all between fiat and USDC, which sometimes I use to send to the chain. So it's not something that started on a small exchange like a month ago. That's why it will take time. Right?
Same argument applies for our stablecoins, actually, because all of them are a fork of Liquidity, which has been around for years on Ethereum and is a well-established company from Switzerland. And our stablecoins are audited as well. They are secure. They've proven themselves on the market. So it's pretty much about communication and actually explaining it to the exchanges, even if they might not understand it at the beginning. It's all about how you communicate it.
From Switzerland. Wer hat's erfunden, oder?
Hey DJ, we're getting up to the hour, but before we
we got 125 people watching. Smash the likes, everybody. That's crazy.
True to my promise, we've got the founder of another very silly project that's lurking in our chat. And my bet is that it's Alan Fizame that's put this together because he's such an evil mastermind. But we're just going to showcase one of these amazing things from drama.lol.
One of the drama LOL
one of the drama.lols. Today's
Count
is featured.
Jacula.
Count Jacula. And I love the post from this guy. You should all give him a follow because it's obviously one of Alan Fizame's burner accounts. His name is OX Dramaturgist. There it is. Yep, follow him, and he's posting, I guess he's trying to do one card a day that gets posted on the site. They're hilarious. It's silly as fuck. And in this case, enhance. Look at this picture here. Count Jacula is actually being staked. He's fully staked, 15.2 years. And it's the Hex logo on the stake itself. This was not lost on me. I thought it was hilarious. And that's why I wanted to bring it to your attention.
Oh, I didn't see it. Man, you've got such an eye for detail, man. I didn't see
dude,
that.
I sit there. Hey, look, I told you before. I'm a narcissist. When somebody makes a card with my likeness or your likeness on it or Toby's likeness on it, I'm gonna sit there and figure out what were they thinking when they were making fun of us. So it's the silliness on these cards. I think they're hilarious, and it's a big breakthrough in the whole PRC 404 thing. You can read about it on the site. Take a look.
That's amazing. Felix, once again, thank you so much for being on the show today. We're coming to an end. Check out the HEXscout.com. Everybody, link is down below in the description. Thank you very much for spending an hour out of your time with us to chat about
it was my pleasure. Thank you for letting me be here.
HEXscout
so welcome.
/start.
That's it. Before we go, I wanted to ask you, we're not making any forward moving price prediction, no expectations, of course, on this show. But where do you see us in this current cycle of Hex and Pulsechain? Do you think the bottom is in for now? We're off to greener pastures going forward. What do you think? Where are we in this current journey, being here from day one?
I think we are in the deepest disbelief right now because the last thing we had is this whole 50-week shakeout thing. And of course, it wouldn't make sense for the SEC wallet to actually pump the chart right after that. The 50 weeks are over now, and we got so many people who were aiming for the next 5x or whatever. So it just makes sense to get their hopes down and let them wash out by themselves. So you need to get rid of them for the bull market. We got an amazing foundation by now. We got so many disbelief and FUD events. So many people are out. I think we are pretty much at the end of this whole disbelief stuff now. It might take another few weeks. But I'm overall pretty happy about everything. And yes, Richard is a genius. He knows exactly how to play the market. And people get played by him and don't actually recognize it. They will recognize
Don't realize it. Yes, themselves.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's all going according to plan.
Everything is going accordingly to the plan. And yeah, we just got to be patient, and they're stronger than the emotions.
Right. And Felix, we look forward to seeing what else you have in your bag of tricks. There you see how Felix, the name, and the bag of okay. Thank you. That's enough for me.
What,
DJ, get
Felix
us the
the
hell out
cat
of here.
or what?
Yes, get us out of here.
Outro.